And joining me now with more after recently coming out of stealth mode and raising more than $100 million in fresh funding is Misha Laskin. He's a CEO and co-founder of ReflectionAI. Misha, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
$130 million. That's a big chunk of change in this market to grow your business. How are you going to use that for your business goals?
To take a step back, we're a team of researchers and engineers from frontier labs like DeepMind who have been thinking about the problem of superintelligence for a very long time and pioneered a lot of the greatest advances that happened in AI over the last decade. And our mission at Reflection is to build superintelligence. We believe you have to do this in a really focused way, and so we're addressing the problem of autonomous coding today. That is our focus, and this funding will go towards scaling up our compute footprint, expanding our research team and product teams as well.
Talk to me more about your takeaways as a former Google employee and what you learned in that role that is helping you now.
Well, we kind of found that there are two key building blocks in AI that have been developed over the last decade that came together that are driving a lot of the progress that we see coming over the next couple of years. The first one is very top of mind. It's large language models. Obviously, I think that's a lot of big products like ChatGPT and so forth have been built on that. But the second one that's coming is reinforcement learning. These are systems that our team pioneered, like AlphaGo, that are seeing the limelight again in increasing the reasoning and coding abilities of these models. And that's kind of where we see this field going.
What goes into building these systems?
Well, you throw a lot of data, of high quality data into a bucket and mix it up. But a lot of it is really hard kind of infrastructure building,
yes.
Distributed systems, so forth.
Yes.
A lot of research on the algorithms. Usually it's simple things that scale well, but still a lot of research to kind of implement it correctly. Mm-hmm. So I'd say it's not any one thing. There are a lot of moving parts.
What are the use cases for your clients?
We're seeing our customers gravitate towards use cases that are helping offload some of the tedious kind of routine work that their engineers do that they'd rather not do, so they can spend their personal time on more kind of personally fulfilling things. So these things are like code optimization and code maintenance and migrations, yes. And we provide a tool that is able to do some of these things autonomously for them.
How is your company, now it's out of stealth mode, not quite yet a public company, at least here at the stock exchange. How are you navigating this current market environment with changes to trade policy and some questions about economic growth?
That's a really good question. I mean, we tend to be pretty long-term thinking on this, and that what we're driving here are fundamental advances in technology and artificial intelligence. And you know, other companies, say a few years ago in the post-COVID kind of tech rut, there were some generational AI companies born then. And so typically when you're kind of thinking on these more, let's say, decade-long timelines and your technology will bear a lot of fruit in the coming years, we've seen some of these companies kind of overcome what's happening in the public markets, and we think something similar will happen here as well.
Do you think some of the hiccups that we see in the publicly traded AI names right now are just a minor phase, or do they signify something perhaps more?
I think that, while I can't speak about exactly what's happening in the public markets, it's always kind of hard to predict, but the fundamental progress that's happening in the technology right now is incredibly exciting. At the end of 2024, we started seeing these really powerful reasoning models come out, which are driven again by this technology called reinforcement learning. And that's not going to stop anytime soon. We saw the first inkling of that, and you can expect to see much more capable and powerful systems to come out this year and the coming year.
What else is on tap for your company this year, Misha?
Well, we're particularly interested in kind of seeing this, how our research will benefit our customers. One of the mottos of the company is that the only eval that really matters is a real-world eval. And so for researchers who have been working on this problem for a decade, and oftentimes, in the last decade, it wasn't clear when these things would be made practical. It's incredibly gratifying to see these systems and tools that we're building helping out customers. So we're really focused on seeing how our research empowers real-world, progress with basically engineers and their teams.
What's the best way to measure that?
Well, the best way to measure that is basically how many of the code snippets that our AI systems suggest are actually being merged in by a team. We see these tools as quite empowering. It's more, an engineer becomes kind of an architect managing an AI workforce, and so they can have many of these parallel AIs working for them. And ultimately, it's useful if the engineer finds that the code that the AI is producing is actually being merged in.
Misha Laskin, so great to hear from you, so insightful. Congratulations on the round.
Thank you very much.
And now you're out of stealth.
That's right.
It feels good, right?
Yeah, it feels great.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, well, Misha will join us again down the road. Again, he is the CEO and co-founder of ReflectionAI. Thank you.